What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to do two looks, and oh my, am I relieved to even be saying that, because I feel like it has been so long since I sat down and did a multi-look video, and quite frankly, I was itching to get back to it. Turns out this is like a really important creative outlet for me, and if I don't do it, I feel weird and I don't like it. So today I'm going to be doing a couple looks with some of the Sweet Shop palettes from BH Cosmetics. They came out with several palettes that are all like confectionery themed, candies, cakes, ice cream, all that kind of stuff. And the ones I picked up were the Orange Sorbet palette and also the Bubblegum palette, which counterintuitively is not pink, it's actually blue. I don't personally think of bubblegum when I think of blue at all, like not even a little bit, not even 1%. But you know what, I'm also just a grown-ass woman who does makeup by myself in my house and talks to a camera like it's a person, so what do I really know about anything, you know what I mean? But I digress, because either way we're doing blue and orange today, or orange and blue because we're doing orange first. I actually kind of regret not picking up a couple of the other shades, but it's too late. Maybe I could still pick them up and like do a second video on them. I don't know if it's worth all of that, but I definitely had my eyeballs on the actual pink palette and like the minty pistachio green one now that I saw them, and I kind of want to do that. So let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see that, and I'll see what I can do. As always, I'll timestamp each look down below. I will link for you all of the products that I can, everything else that I used on my face. Don't forget to like this video because it's very helpful and I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, because if there's actually nobody watching afterwards, then I really am just a weird lady sitting by herself filming things in a room by herself and talking to herself. It's like up to you guys to be there, you know what I mean, to make me less weird. So please, thank you. Let's just jump into look number one with the Orange Sorbet palette. All right, so this is the Sweet Shop Orange Sorbet palette. First of all, I know my hair looks fucking bananas right now. I just styled it and I haven't brushed it through yet, and this is what you get until the end of this look. Now, the first thing that struck me with these palettes is, for some reason, when I saw these online, I don't know if it's because there was so many of them like stacked next to each other and it kind of reminded me of ColourPop, but these are so much bigger than I thought they were. I thought these were going to be mini palettes for some reason. Not only is it a full-size palette, but the colors are freaking huge. And just something about the way they're really big and like the pressings in them and stuff, it's just really appealing. I don't know why. It's just like, it's like ASMR makeup. They nailed that aspect of this for sure. Let's hope they perform well. But as far as like seeing them and it making me want to use them, good job BH, because I want to eat these and also put them on my eyes. So I'm gonna grab my BH number 6 brush, and I'm gonna start with the shade Tangerine. I'm gonna start by blending that in the high portion of the crease and up toward the brow. So far, I'm pretty happy with the pigmentation on that one. I'm gonna use this as like the color that the other colors blend out into, you know? And I'm gonna wing the shape out a little bit at the outer corner. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the shade Chocolate Drizzle on a BH number 7. I'm not intentionally using only BH brushes here. I just usually start my looks with these because they're some of my favorites. I'm gonna put that right through the more concentrated portion of the crease. I haven't worn more than like super minimal makeup since before I took a little bit of a vacation earlier this week, and sometimes, I don't know, I feel like maybe I like forget how to do makeup in between, and then I wind up remembering halfway through the look, you know? I'm gonna go back with that BH number 6 and use it to help blend those two shades together and bring back in a little bit more of the color Tangerine. Next, I'm gonna go into the shade Extra Toppings on a NABLA Soft Dab and Smudge brush. I'm gonna take that shade and put it over most of the lid, just kind of leaving the inner corner spot open. It's a funny name for a color in this palette because I don't think I've ever gone out and gotten sorbet with toppings on it. Do you put toppings on your sorbet? Have I been missing out all these years? On a pencil brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Zest. I'm gonna pack that on the inner corner where I left that open. Zest is kind of giving me a little bit like of a funny texture. It's not quite patchy, but I can see through it a little bit, so I'd be concerned if I was gonna blend that out a bunch. I'm gonna take my ring finger and go into the shade Tangy, which is a shimmer. These kind of each have a shimmer and a matte that reflect each other, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take Tangy and I'm gonna put it over the middle of the lid, just tapping it over both of those shades that I put down. On my Luxie 141 mini brush, I'm going to go into the shade Citron, and I'm going to pack that onto the brush, wet it, and then pack it onto my inner corner. That shade is so bright when you use it wet. I wonder if it's bright when you use it not wet. Probably should have experimented with that first, but damn, I like that. I'm actually going to grab a little bit of this shade Yum right here on my ring finger again, just a tiny bit, and tap it directly in the center, pretty close to the lash line. I just want that to like highlight that part of the lid. All right, I concealed and powdered underneath my eyes so that we can move on to the lower lash line and catch any shit that falls out. And by shit, I mean fallout. I'm gonna start with the BH number 7 this time, and I'm gonna go back into Tangerine because I want it to match what we got going on the top. So we're gonna blend out into that color. I'm bringing that down nice and low. Because this look doesn't have a ton of structure, I feel like I can get away with making it a little bit bolder as far as like how far out I take things. And it won't look unbalanced, if that makes sense. I'm gonna grab a pencil brush and go back into the shade Extra Toppings again, and I'm going to start bringing that underneath the lower lashes. I'm gonna skip the Chocolate Drizzle shade this time just because it's a smaller space, so I don't think we need the extra depth there. And also I kind of just want it to remain bright instead of dark. And for the waterline, I'm actually going to use a lip pencil. This is the color A Go Go from KVD Vegan Beauty, and I'm going to just run that through the waterline. Not sure about whether this is eye safe or not, but you know what? I'm going for it today. Do proceed with caution if you ever decide to do such a thing, because you are not supposed to. And if you do, it's not my fault. Officially, I'm saying it right here, right now. I put on House of Lash's Siren Flare. I finished up my skin. How do you guys feel about adding a lip to this look? Glad you're on board, because you actually don't have a choice, because you can't hear me until after I film this, because that's how YouTube works. So I am going to grab the ColourPop pencil in the color Oh Sis, and then I'm going to fill in the center with the NABLA Creamy Dreamy lipstick in the shade Hedonist. This is a little bit more of a warm toned nude combination, and I think it'll pair really nicely with this look. You could definitely take this to like another level and use the lip pencil, the bright orange that we used on the eyes, and like make it monochromatic, and it would probably look really cool. But I'm feeling a little bit more subdued today. I'm reeling it in. I'm feeling like a classy lady. But I think this combination is going to be good, so let's do it. And this is the first look. So look number 2, we're doing the bubblegum palette, which is, like I said, blue. Why? I don't know. Blue Ice Pop. It's not bubblegum. There's not a fucking lick of bubblegum in here. Not one chewy piece. But does that matter? No. No, it doesn't. It's just confusing to me. My senses are confused. I'm gonna start with my BH number 6, and I'm gonna go into the shade Bubbles. And I'm gonna begin by putting that through the crease area. After I pack down that color, I'm gonna take a clean brush, and I'm just gonna go over the edge and start blending that out with the clean brush, because I don't wanna spread too much of this darker shade up too high. I may go back in and work some more into the blend, but just to keep some control over it as I blend it out. Using a clean brush is very helpful. I'm gonna take that same MAC 221, and I'm gonna go into the shade Sweetened. I'm gonna pop that on the outer corner of the lid. And once I have it built up on the outer corner, I'm just gonna start swirling it and bring it through the crease. A little circular motion on the outer corner, like the little C shape here, and then bringing it right into the crease with whatever's left on the brush. On my Sigma E36, I'm gonna go into the shade Single Scoop, which is the darkest shade in this palette. I think it's kind of cool that they included a blue in here that's almost black. Like, this is a dark navy deep blue, and I don't think that I have a lot of colors like that in other palettes. Like, I definitely have a few floating around somewhere, probably in the Melt Muerte palette and maybe another Melt palette or two, but like in general, I don't usually see this color, so I'm pretty stoked that they have something this deep. I'm just using that to darken up the outer corner a little further and darken up the crease just a little further. I'm not getting much fallout with these, which is really impressive for these types of shades, especially because they are very pigmented, but I did blend too far down, like I blended too low. So before I start the lower lash line and before I conceal, I'm very impressed with the lack of fallout. It's actually like I don't see any. On my NABLA Soft Dab and Smudge brush, I'm gonna go into this shade Chili, and I'm gonna start packing that over the lid. I'm going to take my MAC 221 brush, I'm going to go into a little bit more bubbles, and I'm going to use that to blend Chili into the darker shades around it. I cleaned up underneath so I have the shape right, and next I'm going to add a winged liner. I'm going to grab my Benefit roller liner because I forgot how much I liked this thing, and then I packed it in my bag when I went away last weekend, and I was like, oh shit, this is like a really good liner. So I'm going to use this again. We're going to put a color or some colors over it. I'm going to take a Sigma EO6 winged liner brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Sweet Tooth, which is, to me, the most interesting shimmer in this whole palette. I'm going to pack it onto that brush, and I'm going to start by putting it over that black liner, and I'm going to see if I need to wet it. I might not, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, so these shades are really nice, and they did a good job of what I wanted them to do. However, I liked this look better when the wing was just a black wing, and I think I might just go over it and make it a black wing and say screw it. So I'm going to do just that, and I'll be right back. And then we'll find a different creative way to use these shimmers because they aren't real pretty, but I liked it better with like that contrast of the black wing, so hang on. Okay, so I went back over that wing with the black liner. I powdered and concealed underneath my eyes. I'm gonna do the waterline next. This is the Urban Decay Chaos Pencil. I'm gonna run this right through the waterline, nice bright cobalt blue. I'm gonna grab a MAC 221 and go back into bubbles again. Run that under the lower lashes. I don't wanna bring it down too low though. I kind of want to keep that upswept kind of a feel with this one, so I'm not gonna make it too round. And on a pencil brush, I'm going to go back into single scoop. I'm using that really only on the tip of the pencil brush, and on the outer corner, I'm just going to sweep that under the lower lashes and bring it right up to meet the wing. Next, on a clean pencil brush, I'm going to go into Sweet Tooth, which I wanted to use on the wing earlier, but just was not feeling it. I'm going to use this on the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to pack that in there pretty heavily and sweep it underneath the lower lash line as well. I'm just going to take a clean brush and blend the edge of that so it's a little bit smoother. And on a Luxie 141 Mini, I'm going to go into the shade Frozen. I'm going to pop that right in the center of that inner corner and highlight it with that. Okay, that's definitely a better use of those shimmers, and I'm really happy I backtracked it. I just don't understand, like, okay, so why are the colors called Chili and Frozen when this is about bubblegum? Are they as confused as I am about the theme of this palette? Because I really don't understand. What do you use? Frozen chili bubble? I've never eaten a frozen chili bubblegum in my life. Unless they're talking specifically about the eyeballs on like those ice cream pops. But like even those are not usually blue. What the? Okay, I put on House of Lash's Aquamarine Lash. I finished up my skin, and now I'm gonna add a lip. And for this look, I feel like I want to add a really simple lip. So I'm just gonna go in with a gloss. So I'm gonna use the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy, or as my sister likes to call it, which I still find hilarious because I'm 12. And I'm not gonna use a liner with this today. I'm just gonna let it be like a soft, less defined lip. I feel like sometimes that's more flattering with a very bold eye look, so that's what I'm going for. And this is the second look. Okay, so after using these palettes, I have to say that I am very pleasantly surprised. I've used BH palettes in the past and liked them a lot, but I don't think I've ever had one that really knocked my socks off until now. These palettes, I think, especially for the price point, because if I'm not mistaken, and let me just double check on this, I think they're $16 per palette. I'm gonna go on Ulta.com and find out for you right now. Sorry, correction, they're $18, but they're still full 8-pan palettes, and I don't know offhand how the actual grams of the shadows compare to other shadows, but they're really big pans, so at least you feel like you're getting a lot. I found that the quality of these was phenomenal. Like, nothing underperformed pretty much in the entire collection. There was one orange shade that looked like it might have been a little bit sheer when I first put it down on my lid, but in the end it worked out beautifully, so I don't think it's really an issue. I had very little fallout with any of them, and just aesthetically, these are really pleasing for some reason. Like, you see them in pictures and it's like, oh, those are cute. But if for some reason you get to see them in person, I feel like they're so much more impressive in person because I don't know, like there's just something about the textures and they're so cute and like themed, and like the big pans just look really appealing. There's just something really, really cute about these, and on top of that, they perform really, really well. So I'm very impressed with these. I may go ahead and get a couple more colors and see if we could do another video using those. Please let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. Let me know what you think and I may just do it. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, or if you found it helpful or inspiring, or you just don't mind helping me out, because it is very helpful to me. And also, if you're new around here, go ahead and subscribe because I would love to have you around for future videos. To keep up with me between these videos, see what I get up to in my day-to-day life, get a little bit more behind the scenes, and also to know what you could be missing out on here on this channel. If you're not paying attention, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I update my stories all the time. I also post other things over there like lip art and stuff like that that don't always make it to this channel, and I would love to have you over there as well. I'm pretty thrilled with the way this look turned out in the end, and the more I look at it, the more impressed I get, because blues are so notoriously hard to formulate, so notoriously hard to work with, and these were like easy as pie. I like didn't have any issues whatsoever. If I'm talking right now a little weird, is because like I felt like a burp was gonna come out my throat and it was just kind of hanging out right here, and then it went back inside of me. So that's what happened. That's what happened there. Leave a thumbs up on this video if you ever have a burp come halfway out and then go back down your throat. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hang out with me and talk about makeup today, and I will see you in the next one.